Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, versus Kykar, Wind's Fury. And that's a pretty good hand, actually. I haven't gotten to play with the Changeling Outcast yet, so yeah, definitely going to keep that. We are on the draw as well. Kykar, Wind's Fury. We do play this on the channel as well. That's a 4-mana Jeskai commander, a 3/3 with flying. You can sack a spirit for red, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get a 1/1 spirit with flying. Let's go... Yeah, we'll go into the Changeling Outcast because our opponent definitely won't be able to block that. They may get out a flyer for the Siren Storm Tamer. And this thing's a Changeling, so it does count as a ninja, and therefore can trigger Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand, and each opponent loses life equal to the CMC of the revealed card. It's a 1/3 ninja, and it has commander ninjutsu of black and blue. Now they pause for a long time there, so I'm wondering if they have removal. They can't counter Yuriko's ability unless they can counter an ability, but that's not likely. Well, we need to get the cards out of their hand anyway, so let's see if they can stop a Yuriko. Unfortunately, with it being turn 2, we can't replay the Changeling. So let's see if Yuriko can hit here. Yep, it sure does, so it looks like they don't have removal, or removal that they want to use immediately anyway. And we get into another land, that is good. What do we want to discard is the question. I think we can discard the island actually because, yeah, it might be worth going for Reliquary Tower next turn. Yeah, against my better judgment, I'm going to go for the island being discarded. Alright, there is some counter magic mana potentially from our opponent. Let's swing him first of all and see what we draw into. Hopefully we can deal some big damage to our opponent. Alright, revealing a Diabolic Intent. We're not going to make use of that just yet. Let's just throw down a Skull Snatcher, because I think they might have counter magic. Yeah, they can have that. We're not bothered about a Skull Snatcher getting countered, hence the reason that we went for that line of play. Let's get down the Changeling Outcast. That we do care about, because that can trigger Yuriko, like we already said. They can get down Kykar now without making a land drop, but it just so happens that they make a land anyway. In comes Kykar, the Skull Clamp is attached. That is not likely to trigger Kykar, because it's not likely that she's going to go into the graveyard, and therefore will not trigger the Skull Clamp. Let's swing in with the Changeling Outcast. This can go straight through Kykar and it will trigger Yuriko, and we'll see what we can draw into. Alright, revealing something really big off of that with Rags to Riches. So in that case, do we want to Diabolic Intent into a Scroll Rack? Let's play the land, and I think we might do that. This assumes that we're going to keep our Changeling in play, but if we do manage to do that, then it's going to be a really big play next turn. And it doesn't matter how many times Yuriko dies, because thanks to the Commander Ninjutsu, we don't have to pay command attacks. Let's get the Scroll Rack, and we can play that. And then we will pass over to our opponent. Now the plan is to go for the Changeling Outcast, and we will swap it out for a Yuriko, and then while Yuriko's effect is on the stack, we can put the Rags to Riches on top with Scroll Rack, and reveal that with Yuriko and deal a lot of damage. And I don't think they're going to be able to counter any of that, so they might have removal in hand that they can get rid of Yuriko with. Alright, an Icecron Scepter. They could put something really scary underneath that. A counterspell. Yeah, we're not too worried about a counterspell, thankfully. Let's go in with the Changeling Outcast. And then we will swap that out for Yuriko. And when Yuriko hits, we will go for Scroll Rack, put the Rags to Riches on top, and reveal Rags to Riches to take our opponent down to 0 exactly. That is 11 CMC, and we dealt 1 damage to our opponent with Yuriko, so that is 12, taking them down to 0 exactly. And that's exactly how we want Yuriko to play out. And it's a good job we won then as well, because I'm not too sure we would have been able to interact all that well with an Askron Scepter. Maybe we could have bounced it, and then they would have had to recast it with another counterspell underneath it, but they've only got 2 cards in hand, so that's not all that likely, although they do have Skull Clamp for the Spirit, so they could have refilled their hand next turn. Yeah, if we didn't win there, we were not likely to win, but luckily managed to make it work. That was Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, this time up against Kykar, Wind's Fury. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.